Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Pi Records, and I'm here with Emilio from Planeta Reverb and Lost Grinders. How are you, Emilio?
Hi, Ryan. I'm fine. Hoping everybody is also fine, and very happy to be here with you. And thank you for the request for the interview.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Well, let's start off with your band first, Lost Grinders. Um, how would you describe how you got into the surf music community and what your band brings to the table?
Okay. Well, first of all, I started playing with my friends. The friends I used to go skateboarding with. We also decided to play music and surf music, or let's say the classical instrumental, the rock and roll instrumentals were the common the common, let's say, the common point in all our group. So we started playing. This was in 2004 maybe. So after that we started playing. We started playing live and starting to know people here in Mexico. And it was, of course, thanks to the internet that we started receiving information and music and all the news about the bands playing outside Mexico. So this is how it started. But basically and it's still like that, just having fun with friends that have this love for surf music in common.
And being in Mexico City, you must come across a lot of great shows and a lot of great bands coming to you. What are some of the highlights for you?
Oh well, of course there's like these big festivals called Wild Fest. So of course when Satan's Pilgrims came, or Phantom Surfers, for example, that's my I mean, it's not a secret. It's my favorite band, Phantom Surfers. So from San Francisco. So if you know the band, it's about five guys. They play raw surf music, and they don't care about anything, right? So this is also the inspiration for my band as we were teenagers to start that playing and starting to develop a sound, not just playing whatever, but taking time and money and patience, to get the right gear and all that stuff. And it's been paying off because it's really fun. It's like, if you like cars, if you have a nice car, I
Yeah,
mean, it's like that, but with amps. And it's all about California, right? And that's
yeah,
that's what I love. Yeah, that's what I love. That's what I like. So that's let's say the soul of the project, the soul of the
yeah.
of
It's all about the music, totally. Um,
yeah.
but you play a significant role with Planeta Reverb. Kind of like bringing the community together, bringing bands to uh, Mexico, the Baja area. Tell me a little bit about how you started that and how you got involved.
Well, okay. First of all, I started playing when I was young, so no one was making anything for us, right? So we needed to take the amps, we needed to talk to the owner, the owner's bar. We need to do everything: the flyer, the publicity, being there early, all the logistics, let's say. So it was more like a training all over for more than a decade. So after that, it was not that hard. So if people from outside wanted to come and play, and I know them in person because we are friends, I can help them just as I was helping or any other band here in Mexico, right? So so also having the chance to be in your country with your friends that also share, as I said, that love for surf music, and having these experiences. For example, with Lorenzo Valdambrini, Surfer Joe, he was here twice, and also having the chance to share the music and that friendship with my other friends here in Mexico is it's like I mean I cannot think about something better to do with my life or trying, to develop. And most of the time, I use my own money, so it's also about it's how can I say, it's for the love of the art in some way. But also as the years pass, you need to be more professional. You need to take care about the numbers, so it can still happen, right?
Yeah.
And more than happening, also getting better. So that's it's I mean, it's not over. It's still in the process, and hopefully in the future I can make better and still make people enjoy the music. And of course I enjoy it, by doing it. It's really a pleasure. It's yeah, it's like some people ask me, why do you do this? And I'm like, it's not a hobby, it's not a more like a business, it's just like a lifestyle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
totally get that.
that's the
That's
yeah,
kind
so
of
that's the
that's kind of the same reason I do what I do with the interviews is kind of expose other people to each other, um in in order to kind of unite the music scene, um and just learn more about it and hear new bands. It is a pleasure.
Oh yeah, and most, I mean, and it takes a more relevant role here, because with the pandemic and all that stuff, maybe the people came apart a little bit because there were no more festivals or no more surf guitar convention, no Surfer Joe, no Surforama, no Tokyo Oasis, all that, let's say, that circuit of events along the year when you got a chance to be with your friends and listen to new music, and have, as you said, more exposure to that people that are liking what you like. So yeah, it's also cool. Yeah, I think we have that in common.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this is what it's all about, right?
yeah. So you said something interesting, um about how you got connected. You're in your shop right now. um
Yeah.
what is it that you do there, and how did that bring you to surf music?
Well, I'm gonna move just a little bit so you see it there,
Yep.
here. Yeah, so it's all Fender gear, right?
Yep.
So this is my job, because I have a electrical engineering degree. So as I started playing, I also was looking for gear, right? Because when you listen to the records, or Phantom Sword, First Dick Dale, Lively Ones, and all those bands, and then you start watching videos and you can see what they are playing. I mean, I'm like that kind of geeky guy that gets into something. So I was, oh yeah, the Fender gear, and this is also like something I have in common with, I mean, millions of Fender players, but also in the band, right? So having a nice guitar and having the gear is important, and for me it's more fun, because if I can actually build it, and I understand how it works, for me is kind of another path for my musical development, in terms of the understanding of the sound, and all that stuff. And that's how I get inspired, to play more guitar, because it's like, I mean, if I know how it works and I can manipulate it, when I play, for me it's really satisfying. And also it's helping other people that are into this music to have the gear, right? I mean, if they need advice or a repair, or all this stuff, they can come to me and I can help them. And I mean, it's like I'm selling also records, right? I'm providing this support in that technical background to the bands, and I mean to everyone that it's interesting in the music, right? Because well, what makes music, I know it's the artist, the performer, but also the technical stuff that makes it possible for you to, yeah, to manipulate the sound, to record it, and then to listen it and enjoy it. So it's a
That is
it's
so
like,
cool. It must be very rewarding.
yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. And I mean, I don't have the gear of my dreams yet, and it's also, a way to discover other sounds, or having another overview of music through the eras, taking into consideration the sound itself.
Yeah, definitely. Tell us a little bit about Lost Grinders. What is it that makes your sound unique? Your some of your influences.
Well, it's first the let's say we are all hardcore fans of the traditional surf music sound, right? And then we have three guitars, we have bass,
Oh
and we
wow.
have drums. Yeah, so maybe what makes us unique more than the that we play Fender gear, it's that we have three guitars, and every guitar has its own role, right? Because we use lead, rhythm, and what we call the drip, like the astronauts.
Okay.
So we have the, yeah, let's say we have those uh, three approaches to the guitar, and we mix between the players. So for example, let's say the first part of the set, I am going to play the lead guitar, and then I switch to rhythm, and then I switch to the drip. So having this iteration of the players and melodies and rhythms and all that stuff is what makes us different to other bands in let's say in the surrounding area here in Mexico, because it's more likely that they have one lead guitar, one rhythm guitar, and most of the time it's the lead guitarist, and maybe they switch a little bit, but not that much really. So the lineup and how we perform using that lineup is, it's let's say a distinctive seal, like a characteristic we have, and also that we bring the big Fender Showman amps, right? Because I know it's hard, it's difficult, not everybody can handle it. I mean, in terms of the weight and
Uh huh.
transportation and all that stuff. But I have like a real let's say commitment that if you're gonna play, you're gonna do it like you like it to do it. So instead of bringing a smaller amp, why not look for a bigger place where it can happen? So this is my approach also, and that this is how we we let's say we manage the band in terms of on where we play, on or how often we play, right? So we prefer to maybe have one gig maybe every 2 months, than every weekend having uh, smaller gigs with smaller amps and all that stuff. I mean, and it's not that we don't like to play, but it's like we think more like Los Grinders performance, as not, it's like when you go out with your friends, you want to go to a nice place, right? You want to be confident, you want to be relaxed, you want to be like happy. But you don't go to your friends where places where you're gonna be all squeezed in, or there is not gonna be, let's say, I don't know, enough space or enough room. So this is how we think about it. When we go out, we go to play, and we want to spread our music, our sound in the terms we want to do it, not just like trying to fit in small places. So we have this concept about the big band, The
Yeah,
sonic live impact you have when you have the amp in front and all that stuff.
yeah.
So this is our, let's say, how can our band model, or what shapes what we do, and how we sound and all that stuff.
Very cool. I think the fact that you have three guitars doing three different roles is very interesting, and also that um the big amps, big room philosophy is great. More people in a relaxed setting. I think that's a great approach to what you're doing.
Yeah, this is the and this is not new. I mean, as I told you, for example, Phantom Surfers are one of my favorite bands, right? But also, for example, Satan's Pilgrims also do that. The Nebulas, another bands from the past, of course. All the bands in the '60s did that, right? I mean, they bring the gear, they bring the sound, and they bring the party. So that's that. I mean, as I said, we are all hardcore fans of the classic stuff, but not also in terms of the sound, but also the, let's say, the relationship between the music and the situations developing when people get together. This is also that we would yeah, it's like nostalgic. I think it's like going back to the past, and having that '60s vibe around while playing. That's also, yeah, I mean, it's what we like, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely an important part of it. Um, so before the interview, we talked a little bit, and one of the things that struck me was something that hasn't been discussed lately, and what makes surf music a universal music for everybody is it transcends language. There's no language barrier there. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, of course. I, I, I was telling you that also, thanks to the internet and all this new uh, communication era we are in, because that's also interesting to me. I'm electrical engineering, but it's electrical and telecom, so faraway telecommunications. It's also part of my career, or academic background. So so the language barrier, it's not present in the music, and not even and even less in the instrumental music, right? So this is really nice for me, because I mean, I know English, and I know Spanish, but I'm sure that if I was not knowing English, I would still like surf music, because it's not about the lyrics itself. It's about, the universality of the sound itself. So it's been a real pleasure for me to discover this. And when you go to play to let's say, for example, uh, a couple years ago, I went to play to Baja, to it's the coastline. So after we were done with our show, here's a teenager that comes to me and said, "Hey man, um, I like to surf, and this is the music I would like to listen." And he was not aware about surf music. He was surfing. He was a surfer, a native surfer from Baja, and he made this connection without anyone telling him that it was about surf music. So it's about, you're in the right place, you're in the right time, and the message of the music can go through, and also not having this, um, let's say, language component in in the artistic work. It's what makes for me surf music a real special, let's how can I say, entity among all the other genres that had been existed, right?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
more, more like classical music, let's say, that kind of stuff. Some pieces that are timeless, and if you're in China, or if you're in, I don't know, in Africa or whatever part of the world, you can still turn around and smile. That
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I want to touch a little bit about, more about the gear. What is it about the electronics of the gear that you manipulate to get it the way you sound, the way you want it to sound? Like,
Okay.
what is your process?
Oh, for example, it's a, let's talk about something everybody's interesting about. For example, to having a nice real drip, right? When you're plugging with palm muted the sound, everybody wants to do that, and everybody wants super wet and super defined and super, let's say, like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So for example, I know how to build a reverb tank, you know. So there's a lot of information about this kind of technology, because this has been around for 80 years or more. So it's not really a rocket science, let's say, right? It's not, it's really easy, if you read, if you check it. So for example, there are some components in the circuit that if you change the value, and I'm saying you don't have to make real calculations. It's just about doubling it or cutting it in half, and then you play it and you listen. So it's been said all over the time that, for example, Dick Dale uh, worked with Leo Fender to create the Showman amp, and developing, that big sound, and all that stuff. So so here, what I do in my work, it's like, I like to work with people that can sit down and can play and say, okay, I'm not liking this. Can you make it sound this way? And this is where I do my job. I said, yes, I can do it. This is not possible, or it's possible, but you're gonna lose this stuff, right? So for
Right.
example, in the in the case of the reverb unit, if someone wants more drip, in some points they will lose this sweet sound, right? The sweetness of the sound
Yeah.
can be affected if you want, more drip. And also, what I like to 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 do in my work is to inform people, right? So I can sell you a tank, and I can say, okay, you serve yourself, but it's not that easy. So I need you to understand that having a reverb tank, it's like a control to make a room like this big, this big, this big. So it's not that you need to turn it all up. You need to be aware of where are you playing, how the dimensions of the room you are playing it, so you
Yeah.
can dial it, and have that effect, right, in
Right.
in in the ambient, without being distorted and all that stuff. So this is stuff I've been, yeah, I have experience in it, because I've been playing live. And I'm not saying about big super, super crowds and all that stuff, but through the years you gotta play in bars, houses, patios, so all that kind of stuff. And if you have always your amp and your tank with you, you have that information that you can apply it when you're dealing with a client, and he has having some concerns about the sound, about the electronic stuff. But most of the time it's about making the client understand how the electronic works, so they can, have this, uh, to have this chance to really experience what they are looking for. So it's 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 not that hard, but you need to be thinking about it, and having all this background data. If you played here, you've played there, and you played other other venues, and also it's and have in mind, especially this, that it's not the same playing in your home, in your room, that going out and play it. So this is why I also like the big amps, and always have a river tank, because you never know when you're gonna need it.
Right.
So having the overkill in sometimes, when it comes to music, when it comes to the live performance, this is my approach or my advice for the people that would like to have that sound. I mean, the wild surf sound they listen in the records, and that everybody's craving for, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. What is the name of your shop that you work at?
oh, it's Amp Lab, like AMPLAB, Amp Lab.
Oh,
It
okay.
might sound that it's because of the amplifier, right? Like amplifier laboratory, but it's more like related to Ampere, this mathematician and physicist in from France in the 1800s, that developed the electromagnetic theory. So the electrical current, the ampere, it's the unit. It's named after it's Jean Marie Ampere. So it's about electric current. Let's say the name Amp Lab.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, so where can people, if they want to find Lost Grinders, where can we find you guys? Like
Oh,
online or
okay.
hear your music?
Yeah. You can find us on Facebook. This is the only social media, let's say, app we use. It's Facebook. And you can find us on Bandcamp. This is where you can listen to Los Grinders, only on Bandcamp. I mean, it's maybe an eye subject for a further interview maybe, but we are not on Spotify. We have our reasons, and that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
under- I understand what you're talking about.
yeah. So you can listen, or you can buy, or you can stream it on Bandcamp, uh, and also, I think on the description of the interview, I may post a link, where you can find our music, and also, we are working with music recordings for having one tune in this Link Grade compilation. It is the volume 2. So we're having a song in there,
Wonderful.
and yeah, yeah, and we are actually preparing new recordings,
Oh, great.
because I mean, yeah, we're working in new songs, and all, and it was like a stop for the band, because we were not really playing live. So we started going to prepare our recordings, and then the pandemic started. So we started seeing each other, um, and after that, it was maybe a year or so, we started seeing, yeah, started playing again, and preparing new songs, new recordings. And for now, you can listen what we have recorded and done in the past, with in Bandcamp. We have uh, two EPs. One it's called Grinded Deer, and another it's Los Grinders EP. So it's more about like 15 songs in total,
Uh-huh.
that you can check out, and of course comment about about them. And what you will listen is, it's the classic surf sound, you know with California related themes, about,
Yeah.
for example, I have this tune, called Sharp Stone, and it has to do with the coral reef. So when you're surfing and you're wiped out and you're crashing into the bottom of the coast, then the sharp stone will do its job in your back, and then you have a big cut. And this kind of aggressive approach to that uh, song in particular is what we do. We take these little concepts from surfing, from skateboarding, you know, all that cool stuff, and then we develop a theme around it. So this is what you will listen. Of course, Fender guitars, a lot of reverb, and and hope you check it, and of course comment about it, because sometimes it's someone puts out a record, and everybody is, oh yeah, wow wow, or nobody says nothing about it. so
Yeah,
so it's good to have this feedback. It's not about getting into a fight. It's just about talking about your personal tastes, right?
yeah,
It's like when you go to a restaurant with your friend and you order whatever, and you start talking, no, I like it, no, I didn't like it, and you don't get into a fight. It's just about discussing your taste
yeah,
and what you noticed, right?
yeah, totally.
So I think this is also good for the bands, the record labels, and for everybody in general to talk about what you like and what you don't like.
Um, I always talk about this with the different bands, is the similarities of the DIY ethos when it comes to punk rock. It
Yeah.
sounds to me like you're doing what Ian MacKaye is doing in Washington D.C., where he's documenting the music from there. He didn't go somewhere else to make music. He made music there and represented the music of his area. And it sounds like that's what you're doing in Mexico. Is kind of like, I don't need to go somewhere else. All I need is right here.
Yeah, and this is also, I like to have this. It's not like a fight with other bands, but I also comment on what I like and of what I don't like, and it's not about people doing what I'm saying. It's just about uh, the relationship between the scene. The people that are maybe in the same level, they need to come together, they need to discuss, they need to comment on other people's works, because this is the artistic process that has been, this. For example, let's say in some eras of the big painters, they were commenting on the other people works, right? Also in literature, also in whatever artistic branch, it needs to be this, let's say, kind of friction between the people that are creating it, so it can flourish, so it can move. I mean, so this is also what I like to try to do with Los Grinders, to also push my bandmates to be better. And if we can, inspire someone, or I don't know, to make something happen in other people's minds. This
Yeah,
is what we like to do, to kind of provoke a bit, without being disrespectful, but just not saying everything's okay, everything is great, because I mean it's not so.
yeah. Kind of like expanding the genre in a positive way.
Yeah, yeah. And this is really, I mean, important for me, because I know, for example, the band Lost Acapulco is the, let's say, the most well-known band here in Mexico, right? And I am friends with those guys, but also I'm friends with the bands that are starting, to want to play surf music. And for example, both both bands or both some members, they come to my shop and I work for them, right? So it's not about the elitist, exclusive, I am better than you thing. It's like, hey man, if you're interested, let's do it. Let's talk about it, and there's no real big issue, right? So this is what I like to do in a daily basis. Work with instruments and deal with people like you, for example, that are interested in the music, and want to put their time and effort and passion in making it happen. This is like, I mean, this is for me the way, let's say, the right way for people to interact, not just saying, yeah, cool dude, and you don't see anything else from that person, right?
Right. Yeah. All right. So before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to say or promote or talk about?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if you're listening to this and you are outside of Mexico, you need to know there is a lot of bands in here, and there is many people, working to put out good records, you know, and and check them out. And of course, if you want to know more about the Mexican scene and all that stuff, you may go to Planeta Reverb on Facebook, and what I do there is just put my highlights of what I see, of what I listen, of what I what comes to my email or whatever. So I like to share it, and of course, take care, and hopefully we will meet in person in, I don't know, maybe in Italy, maybe in the United States, maybe here in Mexico, because surf music is worldwide. So this
I would
is,
love to go to Mexico City. I've always wanted to go to Mexico City.
yeah, of course. I mean, if you want to come, I mean, yeah, we can hang out if you want to see something special, and 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 hope the situation of the pandemic makes it possible soon for the live music to happen.
Yeah, totally. Well, I want to thank you, Emilio. I had a wonderful time talking to you and learned a lot about what you do. And I think when people hear this, they're gonna get a really really good insight and the big picture of surf music. And I thank you for doing what you do, and thank you for talking to me today.
Okay, Ryan, thank you, and hope to see you in the future.
Definitely. Have a good day.
Bye.